Hi, class. Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. My name is Miriam Urbano, and I am one of the coaches at Revolution English. And today we're going to have fun time again. We call it super class, but how do you call it, Stephanie? The classes on Wednesdays.
We call them super class, but you can also call them the fun class because you get to learn a lot of fun strategies to help you improve your English. So we will go ahead and get started.
That's better. That's better. I'm going to call it the same. The fun classes on the first and the third Wednesdays of every month. And guess what are we going to have this week, Stephanie? Just give me wild guesses.
What are we going to learn this week? What are we going to learn?
Practicing English in your community. So this is going to be kind of easy because it's talking about the place that you are in every day, right? And so practicing English in your community is the ways that you can practice English every day in the afternoon when you go to the supermarket at nighttime, because there are many opportunities that you have to speak English in your everyday life. So lo que vamos a ver ahora, para aquellos que no lo vieron o que no lo vieron antes, es que vamos a tener a compartir con ustedes las oportunidades que uno tiene para aprender inglés o para practicar nuestro inglés todos los días, en todos los momentos, ¿verdad? Y yo le estaba diciendo a Stephanie que esta clase no se va a llamar superclase, se va a llamar, o dice Stephanie que la vamos a llamar a fun class, una clase divertida. Así que tenemos 3 estrategias. So today we're going to have 3 strategies. Shopping, library, directions, and a challenge. And all that in just one fun class. What do you think, Stephanie?
That sounds great to me, especially because these are things that we all have to do in our everyday life. So what better way to do something that you need to do in real life and then learn English at the same time?
That is true. Look, we have the tip number 1. This is going to be like when we go out and we go to the bank. And this is a very simple one, and you probably already know this, but it's just an example of the things that we can do every day to make it fun, to make it entertaining, and to practice our English. So what about if you are the cashier, Stephanie? You want to be the cashier?
Sure.
Okay. So this is a scenario when you go to a bank, and so and you pick the one. Yeah, sometimes we make assumptions, and this is not a good idea. But you just look and say, okay, maybe that person will not speak my language, whatever language you speak, and you say maybe that person will only speak English, and then you go and you approach that person. I do remember when I was learning English, I used to do this, and it's not true. I'm not making this up. I will say I would go to the supermarket and I would pick the cashier or the teller that I thought didn't speak my language to see if I could talk to this person. So here I go. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
I am great. Thanks for asking. Your total is $23.79. Will that be cash or debit?
Cash.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks. You too. So this is a short example, right? But sometimes you find people that actually they like to talk, and you can have a longer conversation, and you do not go back to your language if it happens that you find somebody that also speaks your language, you stay in English. So we're going to have a little bit of a video that we're going to watch right now so you can see how it goes. And remember, if it has closed caption, you can read, you can listen, and you also can push pause and play it again and repeat it. So let's see what you have, Stephen.
Yes, so we just gave you an example of how to practice speaking in English when you go shopping. Now we're going to show you an example of how you can practice English when you go to the bank. So we're going to show you a short little video. Let's go ahead and watch it. It'll start up very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is something you might want to think about the next time you go to a bank, because this will give you an idea of how to have that conversation with the bank teller when you go.
Hi there. Can I help you? Yes, I'd like to cash this check. It's for $400. Sure, no problem. How would you like that? Oh, just give it to me in big bills. Sure, okay.
And this tool is actually kind of like a little game for you. You get to pretend to be the bank teller. And the lady told me she wants it in big bills. So that means she wants bills that are large in number. So the largest ones I see here are the $100 bills. So I'm going to click on those. So it's 100, 200, you can see the total here, 300, 400. There you go. Her check was for 400. And I'm going to click on her purse.
Here it is, ma'am. Perfect. Thanks a lot.
And there you go. So that's just a short example of how you can practice your English when you go to the bank.
Stephanie, I love this video. I really like it. I mean, the students will receive this link, and so they also can play, and they can play teller or they can play the customer. But it's really good. You can play with your children if you have kids at home, and so that way it makes it more enjoyable. And at the same time, you can read, you can listen, and you can practice. That was really good. Thank you, Stephanie.
Sure. Before we go back to the presentation, I do want to take a quick second to show everyone all the resources that are on here on this website. They have a ton of great resources here to help you. You can learn technology, so how to use a computer. This is living in the world, so like how to use Facebook, how to use Instagram, that kind of fun stuff. This gives you tools for Microsoft Office, so this is for the computers. And my favorite actually are these two on the bottom, the Essential Skills and Working Career. Essential Skills is very great if you're learning English. There's grammar, learn English. There's a lot of fun games and videos. Working Career gives you a lot of great resources for resumes, job interviews. So these tools are fantastic because they will help you with skills you need in everyday life, and they will help you practice English. So please go to this website. It's going to be on the PowerPoint. So please use this website as another resource for your learning.
Yes, and it seems like it's called www.gcffreelearning.com. But you will receive the link as well.
Yeah. So now we're going to...
what do we have now?
We're going to show you our second tip, actually, which is another way where you can practice English is by visiting a library. So we're going to show you another short video. We're not going to watch all of it, just some part of it. And we have the closed captions, so please just pay attention to the words that you see.
Learn English conversation. Library. Good afternoon. Hello. Are you looking for a book in particular? No, not really. I need a book about cats. Do you want a fiction or nonfiction book? Nonfiction, please. I want a list of cat breeds. Oh, all right. One moment, please. Are you looking it up on the computer? Yes, we have a full database of our collection on the computer.
All right, so example of how you can practice a conversation in English when you go to the library. I'm And I noticed that there were some big words on here that you might be unfamiliar with. But Miriam, do you have any tools that you can share with the students so that they can look up some of these words if they've never seen them before?
Oh, yes. I think we're coming to the point that we can use different tips that we have offered or shared before. So maybe you guys remember the one where you can type words on Google Translate. Remember, that was last time. So Google Translate will give us the opportunity to type the word in English, Spanish, or any other language, and also to get to know the meaning. So that is a way. I do remember as well that when I was learning English, a way that I used to practice a lot my English was going to the library and picking the books that I already had read in Spanish. So I remember I had read in Spanish 100 Years of Solitude. I had read The Alchemist. And so I already knew the story, and it was easier for me to pick up a book that I already had read in my language, pick that book in English, and then practice with that book, my reading. One of the things that I always recommend my students is to read aloud. So one thing is just to read, and it sounds or seems like we are understanding, but reading aloud is super, super important. So that way we train our ears and our we practice our conversational skills. Let's see what else is that we're going to have now. So we already went to the bank. We went to the supermarket, we visited the library, and what else? What else do we have, Stephanie?
Yes, so we actually have another short dialogue for you to get more practice with practicing your conversations at the library. So we can run through this one really quickly just to give you another example.
Yes, as I said before, these are just little examples of conversations that you can have, but look how beautiful they are, when you are prepared. So in this case, I want to be the library. Can I be the library, Stephanie?
Of course.
No, not the library. Sorry, the librarian. Yes.
Yes, I don't know how I feel about you being the library, but you can be the librarian.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay.
Having a whole lot of books in me.
Hello.
Okay. Hi. How may I help you?
I am looking for 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Great. Let me look that up for you.
Thanks.
It looks like we have it. It is in the fiction section near the restrooms.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. So before you go to the library, you need to have a couple of titles, a couple of books that you know. And so you go and you have this conversation that sounds very natural because you know the title of the book. Well, that brings us to tip number 3. And tip number 3 is asking for directions. Have you done this, Stephanie?
Oh, yes, all the time, especially if I'm in a new place that I've never been to before. I've gotten lost, so I usually rely on asking strangers for directions. And if I didn't ask them, I would probably still be lost and I wouldn't know where to go. So it's definitely...
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see the short video and see how it goes.
Okay.
Excuse me, I am trying to get to Roosevelt Avenue. Am I on the correct train?
Where exactly are you going? It may be easier for me to help you if I know.
I am trying to get to Shea Stadium. There is a baseball game there later tonight.
Ah, yes. The Mets are playing the Los Angeles Dodgers. You are sort of on the right train, but you will have to switch to a train that will take you to Penn Station.
Okay. How do I do that?
Get off at the next stop, then transfer to a C train that will go to Penn. Once you are at Penn Station, you will have to take the Long Island Railroad. Get off at the Shea Stadium stop, and you are there.
Okay. So I get off at the next stop, then take a C train to Penn Station, then take the Long Island Railroad to the Shea Stadium stop.
Yes, you got it.
But how will I find the C train?
There are maps all over, and there are signs too. You will find it.
Thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Have fun at the game.
Did you notice that the directions that the woman received from the person were really long directions? So the next thing that I would recommend is to have pen and paper ready when you ask for directions. I remember when I was in New York and I get lost. Well, I got lost, or no, I don't. It wasn't that I got lost. It was that I just needed directions of how to get to a place. And I was ready with my pen and paper because I was not sure that I was going to remember all the directions that they were giving me. This woman on the video, on the other hand, was really good. Yeah, she was actually to memorize the whole directions without writing it down. Yes. Okay, this is another little scenario that we can practice. I am you, Stephanie.
Okay.
And you are person B. So let's see how it sounds like when you are asking for directions. Hello.
Hi, how may I help you?
I want to go to the nearest pharmacy. Can you tell me how to get there?
I see. Well, you can go down Fifth Avenue, then make a left on Hope Street, walk for 2 blocks, and you will see the pharmacy on the left.
Great, thanks.
No problem.
These kind of scenarios, you actually don't need to ask for directions if you don't need to, but you can play around with it. You can play with your children or with your friends. You say, hey, can you help me to practice my English? Let's say that I am lost and I am asking for directions. And then you start having a conversation with your friends. I have friends that are bilingual. So if I ask them to only speak English with me, they will do it. But if I switch to Spanish, they will switch too. So it is important that you know that you are practicing your English and they know too, such a way that you stay. And talking about that, we are going to have a really fun game that is called a challenge. And Stephanie, can you tell us more about it?
Yes, so we would like to introduce to you the 48-hour challenge. And it's a very fun way for you to practice more English. So for 2 whole days, you will only speak English. That's at home, at work, with friends, and in the street. So I know some of you might think, well, no one at home speaks English. They only speak my native language. That's okay. You can talk to them in English, even though they talk to you in Spanish or Farsi. Talk to them in English. Whenever you watch TV, make sure that everything you watch is in English. The radio, make sure that it's only in English. I know it might seem a little hard. That's why it's called a challenge. But the idea is that you force your mind to think in English as much as possible so that later on it becomes easier and easier. Even if you are at a beginner level and you think, well, I don't know many words in English, that's okay. Just try the best that you can. The idea is that you practice English as much as possible. And there's actually a benefit of doing the 48-hour challenge for our competition because remember, we are keeping a close eye to see who practices English the most. We have our competition, the Copa Revolution. And basically, all you have to do is tell us how many minutes you're practicing English each day. So every day you will get a text message that is telling you to click on a link to submit your minutes for that day. And this is what that form looks like. You will record your minutes. And once you do the 48-hour challenge, you're going to have a lot of minutes on here because you've been practicing English all day for 2 whole days. So that will actually definitely boost up your points by a lot. So you will fill out this form, and like we said, we are keeping a close eye to see who is practicing, and our winners for this week are up. So Miriam, would you like to announce the winners for this week?
Absolutely. I am super, super, super happy to see my 2 students, the Copper Revolution winners this week. So we have a total of 5 students there. It's really cool. Congratulations, Andrea Esparza and Maria Garcia. You really are into it. I have actually a recommendation, a tip, tengo un consejito, so you can do this 48-hour challenge, English challenge. What about if you do this and you go to the movies? Going to the movies is really cool because you will be listening for 2 hours, only English. And then, it's part of your challenge. Nobody will say anything because at the movies you don't speak, you only listen. And that is a good practice. And then you report those minutes, which means that you're going to be ahead of the game. So I hope that all of you practice and take on this challenge of speaking English for 2 days. One thing that I will tell you is that at home, what you can say is that it's homework. I remember at home when I was only speaking English, people will tell me things like, oh, now you are too much because you don't want to speak your own language. You only want to speak English. And I don't understand you, what you mean by that. But when I said, well, this is homework, my teacher told me that I needed to do it, it was easier and people would accept it more than if I didn't say anything. So just say, this is homework, and for 2 days, I only can speak English. And people will actually help you and have fun with you. And for the students that got first and second place, this is going to be your prize. They are magnets, and you're going to have fun making sentences. It's just for fun, but when you are looking at English, reading English, listening to English, that's what is immersion. So this is part of the fun. Congratulations, Maria and Andrea. I'm very proud of you. And so what else? Oh, we have the regular reminders. We have, we keep sending you those links. So please open the links. I send you videos, watch those videos, repeat them. Remember, the purpose of the videos is that you will listen to them, that you will pause them and repeat whatever you hear. That is the purpose of the videos. And I'm glad that some of you are doing it, and I'm reporting that you are actually working on your English. Go to your tutoring sessions. Stephanie, do you know what happened if you missed a tutoring session? Like if you forget, what can a student do?
So if you are not able to attend your session, your regular session, you can make that up by going to an extra session, whether it's that same week or the following week. So you can attend that extra session in case you missed your regular one.
Mm-hmm.
And
so
on
it's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on here you will see all the session times. So let's say my normal time is on Friday, but on Friday I had to work late, so I missed it. All I have to do is go to these links, and then I'll see all the times and then join it. You will also get a reminder text 1 hour before each session, so you can choose to join it in case you missed your regular one.
Mm-hmm. That's true, and this is really convenient. So all the students will receive 4 tutoring sessions a month if you are in the coach program, right? Once a week. But if you want to practice more, let's say that you want to learn English faster and you want to tutor like 3 times a week, then you can register for our intensive program. If you want to do that, you can send me an email and I will switch you in such a way that you can practice more every week. Do not forget to use your daily practice tracker. Use it, use it, use it. No se olviden de usar su forma para saber cuántos minutos están practicando su inglés. Es súper importante para nosotros saberlo. So our next class is going to be the first Wednesdays of June, because this is the third one. So the first and the third Wednesday of each month, we're going to be together with our super fun classes. And the hours are 6 p.m., 8 p.m., or 9 p.m., depending where you are, Pacific time, Central time, or Standard time. I think that's it for today.